to the Chattanooga Bluebird Society's Introduction to NestWatch. In this video, we will be reviewing on how to edit monitoring data on the NestWatch app versus the website. If you monitor on our public trails, we are currently advising only the trail captains make changes to data on the NestWatch website. All monitors should use their app to make any edits, or if the changes are complicated, please contact your trail captain to help you make these changes. Trail captains, feel free to reach out to your trail coordinators if you have any questions or need assistance. We are always here to help. All contact information for your trails monitors, trail captain, and trail coordinator is on your trail information sheet in your monitoring bag. As a review, before entering or editing information on the NestWatch app, if you are already signed in, go to the 3 bars in the upper right-hand corner for a drop-down menu. Scroll to the bottom and log out, and sign back in each time you monitor or audit for up-to-date information and to make sure you are using the most current version of the NestWatch app. Check to be sure there is no unsynced data. You should get a warning when signing out. Make sure to sync the data before signing out. If you or your monitors have slow data, think Mint Mobile, which is often a 3G versus a 5G plan. Your app may not work in the field. In this case, take a picture of the Nest box number and the Nest and upload your data when you are home on Wi-Fi. Photos usually upload if you have a fast data connection or the next time you are on Wi-Fi. Check alerts and reminders. Reminders are to make sure you are visiting your Nest box at least 1 time a week and possibly twice a week during the active nesting season, or if you have a predator problem, especially house sparrows. Alerts are when something is not adding up. Too few or too many days for incubation, too few or too many days for fledging, etc. Use your calendar and incubation data on your trail information sheet to double check the accuracy of your data. Here is a look at the unsynced data management page and the alerts and reminders page. You are able to edit information on the NestWatch app for the most recent active attempt. An attempt is when a nest has been started. We have added visits such as egg laying, etc. Only the last active attempt can be edited in the app. You will need to sign into the website to see all other attempts for a specific nest box. Remember, an attempt is when a nest has been started and ends when the babies have fledged or you have cleaned out the nest box for another reason. Also, remember, we do not record any data for an empty nest box. If we select My Nests and the nest box we wish to edit, in this case, Meadowview 3. As a review, we strongly suggest your monitors are scheduled for an entire month for continuity in data collection. Data must be entered on NestWatch each week you have an active nest, or possibly twice a week during the busy nesting season, or if you have house sparrows or other predator issues. We want to be sure all information is complete and accurate. You will need to check to be sure all the information has been filled in, including the monitor's name under notes. This is important so you can go back with any questions. Also, NestWatch can never assume any data if it is not entered. If unknown, for example, the moms on the nest, Just enter unknown into the data field for the number of eggs and hatched birds. Take a picture every time you have an active nest and upload it. Photos over the nest show a different angle than looking into the nest box. You can quickly take a picture of the nest box number and inside the box and walk away to enter the data on your app. It also helps in auditing. This year, we are asking the monitors to take a picture of the nest from the side and the top view and upload these pictures each time. This helps in several ways. If you do not have a good phone connection, you can enter the data and upload the photos once you are home on Wi-Fi. It helps the upcoming trail monitors and trail captains if they have any questions. And it also helps the NestWatch coordinator during auditing. I can't tell you how many times the data did not make sense until we looked closely at the pictures uploaded. You see the nest at a different angle than when looking directly into the box. What you see might be 2 eggs, but what you take a picture of might be 4. We had many questions when egg quantity, hatch quantity, or fledge quantity did not add up, and by looking at the pictures during auditing, we were able to see eggs or numbers of birds that were missed. We were able to see dead birds by taking a picture of the side of the nest as well over the top of the nest. Remember, we have made a commitment to being citizen scientists for NestWatch. Make sure the important dates are complete if applicable. To edit, click on the Edit button and the data turns yellow. Click on the line you wish to edit. Scrolling through the questions and making any changes needed. Click Submit to complete these changes. Click the Edit button again to turn it off, and the background will turn white again. Data that cannot be changed on the app but must be done online. The name and location of the nest box. Duplicate entries. This sometimes happens if monitors are clicking Submit repeatedly after each page while answering the questions in the app, rather than scrolling to the end to click Submit, or if someone has not signed out and back into the app to update the data when starting a new monitoring session. Attempts that are ended. If ended in error, you will have to go online and reopen it to make edits and add data. Moving data between attempts. If you have not ended an attempt after fledging and cleaning out the nest box and just continue adding data for a new attempt, you will need to go online, close the original attempt, and move the new data to a new attempt. Deleting photos. If you have uploaded incorrect photos or duplicates, you will need to delete them online. Archived nest boxes. These are nest boxes that are no longer in use and have been removed from the trail. If archived in error, you will need to go online and unarchive it. If you want to review how to use the app in detail, please go onto the Chattanooga Bluebird Society YouTube channel and watch NestWatch and Monitoring Trails. If you wish to review standard monitoring protocol and how to add a nest box on your home trail, watch Introduction to NestWatch, how to add a nest box to your personal home trail. Let's move to editing on the website. Go to nestwatch.org and sign in with the Chattanooga Bluebirds username and password. You will come to the home page, which has the following tabs. Nest site list. You will use this tab most often, and we will explore this in detail in a minute. Add new nest site. You can add a new nest box location here or with your app. Adding or removing a nest box on a public trail must have the approval of your trail coordinator. Manage your groups. The NestWatch coordinator uses this to add trail names and assign or group the nest boxes to a specific trail. Manage archived nests. These are the nest boxes that have been removed from the trail. If one was archived in error, you would click here, select the nest box, and click Unarchive. Scrolling down, you will see a map of our nest boxes on our public trails. Scrolling further, on the right, you will see the active nest boxes. And on the left side, a listing of groups, or in our case, trails. We are going to click on Meadowview, and that brings up the Meadowview trail with its 5 nest boxes shown on the map. To the right is showing active nest boxes 1 and 3. Scrolling back up to the top of the page, we are going to click on the first tab, which is Nest Site List. This is your main go-to tab. A drop-down shows all the nest boxes on the Meadowview trail. If you just click this tab without choosing a trail first, you would get a list of all nest boxes for Chattanooga Bluebirds trails. If you had to change a location of a nest box, the nest box name, or any site details, you would click on Manage Location. If you moved a nest box, click on Improve Location Accuracy and either enter the longitude and latitude coordinates of the new nest box location, or drag the location icon to the correct location on the map. You can zoom in on the location using the plus sign on the bottom right of the page. Scrolling down, you can change the name of the nest box and any other data shown. Make any changes, scroll to the end, making sure to click Save. Back to our Nest Site List tab, we are going to click into View Site Summary. As with any app, there are several ways to use it to get to the same data. The first option is Edit Site Details. This gets you back to the area to change the location of the nest box and all the site details. Scrolling down on the page, you will see the attempts recorded for this nest box. There are currently 4 attempts for this nest box location. Each of these attempts have ended, and there is an outcome shown. This information must make sense and be as complete as possible. If there is no data, NestWatch cannot assume 0. The question was just not answered. We want complete data. Attempt 4 shows 1 red-headed woodpecker fledged. Attempt 3 shows a predator caused a nest failure. In this case, it was the red-headed woodpecker who caused it. Scrolling further, you see attempt 2, where 4 bluebirds fledged, and attempt 1, where another bird took over the nest. In this case, it was by attempt 2. Let's say you wanted to make a correction or look at the data in detail. You would click on the Show Visit Records button. Here it lists the data in detail. Click on the Edit Attempt button. As this attempt was originally ended, you will also need to click on the Reopen Attempt for editing. This brings you to an active spreadsheet of all the visits for this attempt. Some of the data is in code, and by clicking on the green question mark for that column, it will give you a drop-down list for those codes. To remove a duplicate entry for the same date, just click on the red circle with the white line, which deletes that entire entry. To add another visit, click on Add Another Row and add your data for that visit. Don't worry if the date is not consecutive. Once you save it, it will automatically resort in the correct date sequence. Here you can add or delete photos. Again, we will be requesting photos uploaded every time if there is an active nest. If you did not end an attempt after cleaning out the nest box and just added a new attempt, you can click here to move rows to a new attempt. It will open boxes to the left of each row. Check the boxes you want to move. Once you have moved your new attempt visits, you will need to go back to the old attempt, click Summarize this nesting attempt, and answer all the questions as we need to end the attempt. Answer all questions if applicable and make sure you are paying attention to the dates to be sure they make sense. Then end this nesting attempt. Again, note the data on your trail information sheet in your monitoring bag. 1 egg is laid each day, with incubation of 12 to 14 days after the last egg is laid. Bluebirds fledge 16 to 19 days after hatch. Add a couple more days for tree swallows. We include a current calendar on the trail information sheet to help calculate laid, hatch, and fledge dates. Data for other species is included in your monitoring bag. Again, make sure your data makes sense. If your monitor has 5 new fledglings 1 week and no babies the next week, they did not fledge. They were probably eaten or discarded by predators. Note on this data shown on the app, there were 5 eggs, 5 young, and they cleaned out the nest box on April 27th. The following week on May 4th, they had an incomplete nest. And on May 11th, they had 2 eggs. This is actually 2 separate attempts. The first one should have ended with all the data completed the day they cleaned out the nest box, and a new attempt started on May 4th. The first egg was laid on March 23rd, and now it has been overwritten on May 10th. In the case of these 2 separate attempts, we will sign into the NestWatch website, select this nest box attempt, and click I need to move some of these visits to a new attempt. Click the boxes on the left next to the lines that need to move. Click Move These Visits button, which will turn that into a new attempt. Add the species and any other data and save. Make sure to go back into the other attempt. Otherwise, you will have 2 active attempts for the same nest box. Scroll down and end the attempt to close it. We have also seen monitors ending the attempt after each visit. In this case, you will need to record all the information under one attempt and delete the others. If this happens, or if you are not comfortable making the changes, reach out to your trail coordinators and we will have someone contact you and do these changes with you. To see a summary of the current year, sign into the website and scroll to the bottom of the data page. Here you can see the total summary of nest sites, attempts, eggs, young, and fledglings for the current year. Just below the summary, you can download data in an Excel spreadsheet of the nest site descriptions. You can download breeding data, as well as species summaries. Make sure to select your trail only and the year you want to download the data for. Otherwise, you will download the entire data for all trails. We are here to help, so please reach out. We can assist by phone, by email, or in person, whatever you and your team needs. Thank you for volunteering your time.